Help us save the Michigan Panthers and keep them in Michigan by joining the over 1,500 people and scan this QR code and sign the petition today. The Detroit Lions had joint training camp, and I was unable to go because life be lifing. I'm so mad. These were the tickets I actually got for myself, and I was unable to go. And they seem like they are getting it in, man, with the Miami Dolphins. But before we get into that, we've got some brief roster moves that the Detroit Lions have made. Says they have signed offensive lineman Zach Johnson and cornerback Alan George. And they have placed Mr. DiCaprio, my heart will go on Boodle, and offensive lineman Keaton Sutherland on injured reserve, which means that their seasons are probably over. It seems like everybody that is going to IR in the preseason, their seasons are over. So no more number 17 being DB, the CB that's DB, because his season is probably over. But the Detroit Lions had observations from Tim Twentyman. We know yesterday the Detroit Lions pretty much owned that day. They were, all you saw was it was all over the place, right? That the Lions were dominating on defense. We brought in the receivers work that the Lions put out when we brought in that video. Saw Amon-Ra St. Brown just absolutely cooking Jack Jones. So today, it seems like it was a little different. Yesterday was day one. Today is day two. I believe they might have one more day left. And just think, in 2 days, it is a preseason game. Just like that, the football season is upon us. Here's what Tim had to say coming from DetroitLions.com. Competitive day. Credit to the Miami Dolphins for making some 24-hour adjustments after getting outplayed on both sides of the football in Wednesday's joint practice and making Thursday's second practice at the Meyer Performance Center. Hey, listen, I swear, bro, like this must be part of what he's supposed to do. Like it must have something in there that he must say Meyer Performance Center. That's crazy. Much more competitive. The energy level was high and both teams got some really good work in Thursday. And then he gives some situational wins, defensive wins. Now, let me just cut to me real quick. I think that while we're anticipating the defense and expecting the defense to be a little bit better, we have to pump the brakes, man. We have to let this thing play out. Let's see the defense in a real game. First, we were in pajamas. Now we're in pads, but it's still practice. And don't forget, AI said it the best. We talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice. So all of this stuff is great for content and anticipation, but let's see it actually in a real meaningful game. So let's pump the brakes. We can have expectations. I expect the defense to be better because it has to get better. If we're going to win it all, it has to get better, right? We can't just put it all on the offense. So let's just pump the brakes. Let's see it in a real game. Let's give Marcus Davenport, let's see what he can do, and then we can go from there. Trust me, I want the team to be better. Situational defensive wins. Says Jared Goff and the Lions offense went first and were able to navigate down to the Dolphins' 19-yard line on completions to tight end Shane Zylstra, which had 2, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and wide receiver Jameson Williams with 2 seconds on the clock. St. Brown's 20-yard catch was on a 3rd and 16 play. The final attempt to the end zone as time expired fell incomplete to St. Brown. However, Miami's defense won the situation. Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins offense were shut out in 4 plays. 2 incompletions and a short completion to running back Jalen Wright set up a 4th and 7. Tagovailoa tried to hit wide receiver Tariq Black for a first down to the left, but safety Brian Branch made a terrific play on the football to force the incompletion and give the defense the win. Now, all we hear, man, is defense, defense, defense. But I want you guys to remember, that we heard this 2 years ago. Now, I will say this. The last time the defense had this type of domination that we saw yesterday was back in 2023, I believe it was, against the Indianapolis Colts. And what did we go on to do later that year? We made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. So I'm not saying that the defense hasn't improved. I'm not saying any of those things, but I think we just got to see it. I don't want our expectations to be higher than what the reality is. I mean, but the Lions have to get better. They probably are better. We had a lot of injuries, and that's going to make us better anyway. Like, to be honest with you, the only thing I'm worried about is the edge opposite Aiden. I mean, we got a DT. We got several of them. We just need that guy that could come in, and hopefully we do wind up getting that. Now, Jameson Williams, man, I've been hearing a lot of good things coming out from camp. And I don't want to make it seem like the dust up yesterday was a big deal. He was out there causing trouble, because that is not the word that's coming out of camp. He has spent all offseason out of trouble. We have not heard a single negative thing about Jameson Williams. We've seen him practicing with Jared Goff. The chemistry is building there, and he is looking fresh in camp. He's going to be a real problem this year. So I don't want, people to get the wrong idea. Jameson's been on the straight and narrow, staying out of trouble and doing his thing this offseason. Deep shot. The first play of a mid-practice team period for Detroit's offense started with Goff throwing a bomb to Williams for a touchdown. Williams got behind two Dolphins defenders, including former Lion Fatu Melifonwu, who Williams had a dust-up with late in Wednesday's practice. Williams was sure to let Melifonwu know he got the better of him on that play. And you got to remember, man, it's like these guys are like brothers. You know what I'm saying? These guys are like brothers. There is not, you know what I mean? Like, you going to be in the moment. You ever heard we friends, but there are no friends on the court, right? There are no friends on your team if they play for the opposition, right? So on the field, if they play for the other team. So I wouldn't look anything into it, but Jameson Williams is going to be that guy. He really is. But you know what? Let's do this. Let's look at a team. Let me see. Which one do I want to do? I think I want to do this right here, because this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, and this is middle pressure. Again, middle pressure. The Lions ranked third in the NFL last year with 132 pressures generated from the middle of their defensive line. We know that Aleem McNeil can do that. We know what Aleem McNeil can do in that department when he gets back from ACL rehab later this year. Rookie Tyleik Williams and Keith Cooper Jr., undrafted guy who's showing some real promise, have shown some nice flashes of pass rush ability from the interior. DJ Reader had 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for a loss, and 20 total pressures last season. He had a sack in Thursday's practice and a couple nice pressures. Don't forget, he missed all of training camp last year with a quad injury. He should be in prime form to start the year, and he was really disruptive on Thursday, I thought. Now, I saw Tyleik Williams. I think Tyleik Williams is going to be a problem, him and DJ Reader. He's really going to fill in very nicely for the missing Aleem McNeil. And I don't really think that we've had that many problems from the interior, because Aleem McNeil has been steady for us. I think it was last season, because he got hurt. So it was in the 2023 season that led him to that big payday. He got 7.5 sacks for a guy in the middle. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, right? Because DJ Reader's good for 3.5 with his time with the Bengals, and perfectly lived up to that entire thing with his first year with us. But Aleem McNeil is that dude in the middle. So if him and Tyleik can have that type of chemistry, then that'll be great for the team. So again, check out Tim 20-Min's article. It's a real good article, man. Some other stuff in there, some red zone, things like that. But the Lions, man, I'm kind of bummed out because today was the last day of joint practice. It's been a lot, life be life, and man, sometimes you wake up and you don't feel good, and it is what it is, but that's just life. But these were the tickets I got for me, right? These are the ones I got. I was up on the computer logging in. This was the day I got for myself. This was the day I wanted to go to above all others, was a joint practice, and I could not go. I'm bummed about that, but at least it seems like it was a real good time. They do have another set with the next team that they're going to play, and then just like that, we will be heading into the season. So, you know what? Let me just give you guys a brief little rundown of what's going on so you guys will know. We will be live for the last 2 preseason games this Saturday at 1 p.m. I can't remember if the other one is on Friday or Saturday, but we'll be live for those games. I don't know how often I'm going to be streaming the games or the post-game show, because I plan to go to a lot of the games. Now, if I'm on the road and I am staying, I will take my equipment with me. I would love to get to the point where I can go for 2 days and go to the Lions night before the game and then come home the next day. That would be fantastic. Maybe I can try to do that next season. But the game streams, A lot of the home games I probably will do, but the road games, the plan is to go to we have 9 of them. The plan is to get to 8 of them. The only reason I won't go to all 9 is because of the fact that the last one against the Chicago Bears might be too cold. I've never been to Soldier Field. If it's not, I had frostbite when I was younger, so being outside in cold weather is tough, right? But if it's warm, I might try to go. That'll be all 9 stadiums, all 9 road games. The Lions have 7 games outdoors, and they're all on the road, of course, because we play at Ford Field. So I just want to give you the heads up. But we will be on this weekend, though, and next weekend for sure. It was one more thing I wanted to let you guys know as well. I think it was about the games. I think we did everything. I'll be a season ticket holder next year, so I don't know how often we're going to stream. I really don't. The plan going to these games is fantastic. Like, that's part of the journey as well. And as much as I love bringing you the live streams and stuff like that, I really want to start going to these games. And with me being a season ticket holder, I'm not going to have a choice but to go if I want to remain a season ticket holder. So let's have some fun. Let's get as many live streams as we can. But I would much rather bring you the coverage live with boots on the ground than just be a guy streaming the games, right? I've been there, done that, and I'm kind of over it. All right. So anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Again, don't forget to scan the QR code. Help us keep the Michigan Panthers in Michigan. It's looking pretty good. Pretty good. We're hearing some things coming out. Maybe the UFL jumped the gun on some of the announcements. There are some people taking accountability for leaking this information or whatever the situation is, but we still want to make sure that they know we want our spring football team to stay in Michigan. So pause, scan, and if you can't, then hopefully I can put the link in the pinned comment. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. If you're going to the game, enjoy it.